Hi, welcome to Maths Mama YouTube channel. In this video, you're gonna learn how to solve modulus equation, which falls on the first category. Right. This is our second lesson in solving modulus equations. As a quick review, in the previous lesson, we identified the 4 different types of modulus equations and the methods that can be used to solve them. You got to be very careful when you are solving modulus equations because you can't apply always the same method. It depends on how the equation looks. That's why we categorize those as type 1, type 2, type 3 and type 4. And we'll start off with a question. So we've got 2x minus 1 modulus is equal to 5. So it looks like type 1 because on one side there's a modulus and on the other side there's a positive constant. So the good news is, as we discussed in the previous video, you can use all the 3 methods in solving this type of equations. What are the 3 methods? Graphical method and then 2 algebraic method. So in this video, I'll be doing this question using your favorite method, graphical method. So let's start. Alright, to solve this modulus equation on the graphical method, we have to separate it into 2 different equations. I'll explain you how to do it. As you see in the left hand side, we've got modulus function. We write it as y equal modulus 2x minus 1, and on the right hand side we have 5. We write it as y equal 5. So these are our 2 separate equations. The next step is to sketch these 2 equations on the same xy plane. I'll start sketching assuming that you are familiar with this area. If not, you can go back to Maths Mama YouTube channel and check for the videos because we have done several videos on sketching modulus functions. Right. Moving to sketch the graph, I'll start with drawing x-axis and y-axis. We'll first pick the modulus function. I hope you remember the steps. First, ignore the modulus sign and sketch y equals 2x minus 1. So it's a straight line with a positive gradient. We need at least 2 points to sketch it. So substitute x equals 0 to get the y-intercept and substitute y equals 0 to get the x-intercept. Here we found 2 coordinate pairs. Now you can plot those 2 and connect those 2 points with a straight line edge. Here we got y equal 2x minus 1 straight line. In the second step, you have to identify the section of the graph which is below x-axis and reflect that section on x-axis. Reflection means just taking the mirror image of that section. So this is the section of the graph which is below x-axis and reflect it on x-axis. Right. So after getting the mirror image, you can either leave it as a dotted line or delete it. But don't leave it as a bold line because it gives a wrong picture about the sketch. Okay, so we are done with the sketching the modulus function. It is a V-shaped curve. We generally name it as y equal 2x minus 1 modulus function. So as you see in this picture, there are 2 arms for this function. On the right hand side, it's a original function. We can name it as y equal 2x minus 1. It's the positive side. And the section we took the mirror image, we can name it in a different way. Since we did an alteration for the original function, you have to add a negative because we reflected it on x-axis. You write a negative sign in front of the function. So here we get y equal negative 2x minus 1. Please make sure to write it inside the bracket. Right. We have done all the work related to sketching the modulus function. Now we can move back to sketching the y equal 5 function. So this is something familiar to you. It is a horizontal line which is parallel to x-axis and passes through 0, 5. I draw it using green color. So this is my y equal 5 straight line. Right. So we have already finished the groundwork to find the answers. Now guess and tell me what is the relationship of this sketch to the solutions of our modulus equation. Yes, the solutions are going to be the x coordinates of these intersecting points. So to locate these x coordinates, we can project these values downward so that you can identify the section of x values. So this x value gonna be greater than half and this x value is gonna be less than 0. So we get one solution as positive, the other solution as negative. Now we have guessed the sign of the two solutions. To get the values of these two solutions, you have to solve these two functions. Right. To get the x coordinate of A, solve y equal 2x minus 1 and y equal 5 functions simultaneously. So 2x minus 1 is equal to 5. You move 1 to the other side. We get 2x equals 6. So x gonna be equal to 3. To find the x coordinate of B, will solve y equal negative 2x minus 1 and y equal 5 function. So negative 2x minus 1 is equal to 5. We expand the brackets, then we'll get minus 2x plus 1 is equal to 5. Then negative 2x is equal to 4. So x gonna be negative 2. So as we guessed, we got one positive value and one negative value. So these are our two solutions for the modulus equation. Okay, it's the time to challenge yourself. Do these two questions and see whether you can understand solving modulus equations under graphical method. Alright, hope you enjoyed this lesson. We'll meet again with another lesson on solving modulus equations under the same category but solving it using algebraic method. So stay with Maths Mama.